Lillian McMorris, and welcome to the Lillian McMorris Show. It is our duty, it is our venture, this is what we do, is give information about community programs and events right here in the Southern Nevada community. So you're going to hear a lot of information about what's going on in Southern Nevada. Some things you know, some things you don't. But there's always something helpful that if you can't use it, you can always share the information. On this show, our first guest is from Action Red. And I'd like to welcome Lane Olson, who's Executive Director. Welcome, Lane. Well, co-founder and Executive Director, actually. And Jim Foley. Hi, Jim.
Hey.
Jim is kind of a little bit of everything. But what he does best is medical adherence counselor. Correct?
Correct.
Well, we can talk a little bit about it because although you have an office right downtown on Fremont Street, a lot of your work is done outside. Like you're going to, as you said, hold hands.
Yes.
And grassroots, getting money, talking about programs, giving back to the community, making sure that the medical needs are met for your clients. So being the co-founder, tell us a little bit about what was going through your head when you founded Action Red.
Well, I think a lot of it is due to Vince Collins, who is the other co-founder of this agency. And when we came together and decided to do Action Red, it was really about our peers, because we are majority living with HIV and AIDS. So we saw and recognized that our peers weren't being heard or their situations and so forth. So we thought we could empower our brothers and sisters and make a difference in their lives as well as our own.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the programs that you have at Action Red.
Well, do you want to go over that?
We have the Lead for Life program, which is the program that we basically started with. It's an adherence program to teach people how to take their medications, actually to have a voice in the doctor's office. If the medication is not working for them the way they want it to, according to their lifestyle, because of the side effects. So we empower them to...
I think that's one of the largest challenges we found when I was on the State AIDS Task Force, is the cocktails.
Yes.
And how some people can tolerate it, whereas others could not. And people are afraid to speak up to the doctor.
Correct. And so we empower them to do that. And so another program that we have is a women's program. Mm-hmm. We had our first meeting last month. We're pulling the women in the community together to also let them have a voice. A lot of times, like I've heard a lot of them say, I'm taking care of my husband, I'm taking care of the kids, but forget to take care of themselves.
Right.
So we empower them to do that also.
Okay.
And then we have a men's group, and all of these groups actually are taking ownership of it. So that's the wonderful part, is because we don't want to create a group and then tell them how it needs to be.
Right.
We want it to come from the heart and soul of what they're dealing with and making sure we're meeting the needs. And so that's what's great about the Men of Action. They actually changed the name to Men of Action instead of, I forget what the group originally was called, but they said, we don't like that name. And I said, you can do whatever you want.
Change it to whatever you want. As a matter of fact, what they're talking about is Men of Action Group. It's just for the guys. And it's on Mondays from 5 until 6:30. And it's right there at Action Red. And I'm going to give you the address of the office. And then for our ladies, Sisters with Pause Attitude. Sisters with Pause Attitude is a social group specifically for women living with HIV and AIDS. And they meet at noon, and then you'll have to call or look on the website because it's just about every week.
Every
it's like every month, once a month. And coming up in April, it's April the 9th. In May, it's May 14th. In June, it's June 11th. But all of that is listed on the website. Now, there are several other things that you do and that the Action Red is about.
Yeah, we... like Jim was talking about, and he's so good at it, is really helping people to understand the importance of medication, because we know that, until we find that cure, there's a way to stop infections in our community, and that's the Las Vegas community. And so with his talents of being able to connect with people and helping to empower them to stay on track with their medications, and talking with doctors and other people, we're able to stop the infection rates here in Las Vegas by just being...
Education and support.
Right, exactly.
And that's what's so important, because people forget that we have to know what we're dealing with. And if you don't educate people, or people don't accept the education, then they fall by the wayside.
Most definitely.
Yeah. What's the hardest part of your job, Jim?
Hardest part of my job would be talking to an individual that's been newly diagnosed. The devastation that they feel, the shame that they feel, the stigma that they feel, that's probably one of the things that's most heartbreaking about what we do. But again, sitting and talking with them and letting them know that they can have a normal life. Getting on the medication will reduce the virus in their body so that they don't get opportunistic infections, yada, 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 moving forward and making sure that they can live a long, healthy life. And I think one of the first things I do when I meet one of those individuals is let them know, I've been living with this for 26 years. I almost died twice, and here I am, sitting in front of you because of the medications
I'm still standing.
Yes, I'm still standing.
Right. They may not like to take 26 pills a day, but guess what? I'm still here.
Exactly.
That's right. Lane, what do you need from our community for your organization?
Well, we've been so appreciative of all the support that we've already gotten. But there are, like maybe someone that's an IT person that could help set up our systems. We were donated some computers and so forth. Okay. So we're really looking for something to that effect. But really just to come and learn about HIV so that we can get rid of that stigma. I mean, that's the greatest thing that we could get from our community is to take an active part in getting educated and helping other people to not fear to access care, to get tested, and whatever the means may be.
Right. Don't fear. That's the main thing about educating people, not only those that are HIV positive, but what are infected and affected, which is family and friends. But education is the largest component of that. We still have people coming into the agency saying that their families have turned their back on them, that they're afraid to use the same dishes and eat off the same fork, drink out of the same glass. So a lot of education goes towards the family members. Also, we have Community Outreach Medical Center who we work with, who sends nursing students over, and we actually educate them on how to deal with people living with HIV and letting them know compassion is the biggest thing that you can give somebody. Absolutely. We're going to ask you to go to the website. It's actionred.org. Very easy. The name of the organization is Action Red. So actionred.org. Go to the website. There's loads of information, and there's ways that you can help give back to our community by helping people that are HIV positive, infected, and affected by the disease. The phone number is 702-366-0175. That's 366-0175. They've got loads of things that are happening. Their vision is to not only give support, but also come to zero discrimination, zero HIV infections, and zero AIDS-related deaths. So you can be a part of their vision and a part of their mission. That's Action Red. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back.
The Lillian McMorris Show is brought to you in part by Louisiana Gumbo and More, located on West Charleston. The best gumbo, fried catfish, salads, and don't forget the po' boys. That's Louisiana Gumbo and More on West Charleston. 100 Black Men of Las Vegas. Would you like to be a member? Giving your time back to the youth in our community. Our #1 project is mentoring. Join 100 Black Men of Las Vegas. There's a membership drive. Call 888-812-5455 for more information. The Financial Guidance Center offers classes to get you financially in line with what you want to do. Purchase a house, go back to school. Any of these things you can do, and they hold classes. So please give them a call or go to their website. That's the Financial Guidance Center. And welcome back. A lot of times there are people in our community who need just a little legal advice or a lot of legal advice. And unfortunately, they cannot afford an attorney. Something just as little as maybe you're being evicted, or something very large that you kind of did something wrong. But you still should be represented. And that's where the Legal Aid Center of Southern Nevada comes in. We're going to talk about the programs at Legal Aid, how that you can be a part of that, get represented. And I think the best person to talk to is an old friend. And this is so funny, and I guess it's because I've lived in Las Vegas so long and out in the community, but you tend to know the best people who do and give back to our community. Please welcome Barbara Buckley. Welcome, Barbara.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to see you again.
Great
and as we were just talking prior to the cameras rolling, we're still doing the same thing.
The same thing. I remember when you first interviewed me, maybe 20 years ago or so. Same thing.
Same thing.
We love what we do.
And, you know, that's the bottom line. When you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
That's right.
And I get up every morning, and my business partner can tell you, I will call her and I say, you know, nobody's called me. I don't have anything to do today. And at 5 minutes, somebody will call and say, okay, how can I do this? What organization can help me with this? And I love to do it.
Yep.
That's what I do. But let's talk a little bit about the Legal Aid Center of Southern Nevada. What do you offer our community?
Well, we provide free legal assistance to people who, need just a little bit of legal advice or representation. I mean, if you're accused of a crime, right, you get appointed a public defender if you
Right.
can afford an attorney.
Right.
But what if you're an abused kid? What if you've been swindled out of your life savings?
Mm-hmm.
You took a payday loan out, and
Right.
you feel like they're giving you the runaround.
700%. Okay.
700%.
Yes.
That's what we do at Legal
Okay.
Aid, civil matters.
Okay.
And we've built up a delivery system, and it's really remarkable what we've been able to build up in the last 20 years. First of all, we have free legal classes every week for anyone, regardless of how much money they make. We have free community classes in divorce, paternity, bankruptcy, guardianship,
Wow.
foreclosure, how to represent yourself in
Wow,
small
you said the
claims
big word,
court.
foreclosure. I bet you've had a lot of those.
We have 4 full-time attorneys who do nothing but foreclosure, and they are some of the best in the city. So if you have a foreclosure problem, you should be calling us. We're there to help. So we have free legal classes. In addition to that, we have 2 self-help centers in the courthouses. One in the civil courthouse.
You've got one at family court.
And one at
I've used your one in family court.
Well, it's getting better and better. We just hired a great new director. We are redoing every form. We are redoing the website. It's going to be amazing. Wow. And anybody can walk in there if they need help with any form. We urge people, don't go to a storefront, petition preparer. You never know what you're going to get.
True.
This is free, reputable service that you can get.
Right.
And then in our office, we provide attorneys for folks with civil problems. So it's a wide array of services available to the community.
And who should contact you? You know, is it an age thing? Like some people are young.
Right.
They've made some errors in judgment. They're trying to find out which way to go.
Right.
How do I handle my friend started a business and I gave him $5,000 and I've received no returns?
Right. Anybody can come to our office and seek advice. We represent kids in foster care. We represent...
Talk about that.
Yeah, we represent clients from 0 to 100.
I said teens and you said, okay, 0.
Yeah, the Children's Attorneys Project is a unique project that we've started. And basically, we represent kids in the foster care system.
Okay, help me understand that.
We're their voice.
Okay.
Let's say you're 15, you're brought in the system with your brothers and your sisters, and you're split from them. And the only thing that's going to make your life okay is to be with your brother or your sister.
Oh.
We will fight to get them in a placement together. And if that's not
Really?
possible for some reason...
Is that a new portion of your program?
We started it in 1999 with
Okay.
our first case.
Okay.
And now we are representing 1,961
Did you ever think you would be doing that?
Never. I got a call from Tom Riley and Myrna Williams,
Okay.
Justice Nancy Status, and we're one of the last communities without independent legal help for kids.
Well, Nancy's like that. She's out there for our kids. Yes.
Would you do it? And I said, boy, I just couldn't think of anything that would honor us more. So we started this journey. We have learned so much.
Oh, my goodness.
Kids are resilient, and
Right.
they know what they want.
That's true. That's true.
And before we did this, the parent, the abuser might get a lawyer, the county might get
Right,
a lawyer.
but the child never had a voice.
And we said there's something wrong with that picture.
Mm-hmm.
So
That touches my heart. Oh my gosh, I can just see like siblings wanting to be with their other siblings, and the court is saying, no, we're going to split you up, you're of age, blah, blah, blah. They want little ones.
Right. And the court really wants to do the right thing, but they can only do the right thing if they have the information. And so we're the ones to say, hey, this kid's acting out, you're hearing that part of the story, but the reason they're acting out,
why.
And remember, they're a victim.
And see, and that's what I tell people. They're always talking about kids running away. They're not running away. They're running away. Yes, they're running away, but they're running away from a situation.
Right. And they usually tell us what the situation is. And many times we're able to get it rectified because we say to the child, we're your lawyer. We're there for you.
Well, that's amazing to me to hear that. You're 2 years old and you got a lawyer.
You got a lawyer. And boy, the kids love it. They're texting us all the time.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So it's a great program. The
Yeah.
other newer program that we have, too, that we've really built up is in special education. We find so many children with disabilities, whether from, lower income families, or again, kids in foster care aren't getting the services they need to accommodate their disability at school. Right. There's some great principals that do great, and teachers that do a great job with some kids. Some kids fall between the cracks in some schools.
What is the best way to contact you?
A couple. First, phone, 386-1070. Second is we have an amazing website.
You do. You have an amazing website.
And we are putting
so much information on it.
Yes. We try to put information about your rights. So just if somebody wants to go to a one-stop shop on the law pertaining to them. So we urge people to go to the websites. It has our schedule for our free classes, or go to the self-help centers.
Okay. We've been talking to Barbara Buckley, and she's the Executive Director of Legal Aid Center of Southern Nevada. And they have so many programs that help people within our community. Free legal assistance. And this is for everyone. You walk in there and you have a situation, perhaps you've been abandoned, perhaps you've been abused, perhaps you're about to get evicted. Or as she stated, with the kids, and that's another program, is the Children's Attorney Project, which is relatively new, but evidently it's one of the highlights there.
It is.
Any civil matter, free legal classes, and you have to go to the website for the classes. And, of course, the self-help centers, of which I have used myself in every form that you could possibly think of, is available in the self-help center. So go to their website, and that is lacsn.org. That's Legal Aid Center of Southern Nevada. lacsn.org. And the phone number is 386-1070. That's 386-1070. And someone at the Legal Aid Center, once you call them and leave a message, or on their website, you can actually send an email. And you email them and tell them what is going on, and they call you back. And once they call you back and you find out they're dedicated to providing civil legal services to the most vulnerable in our community. So this is just a tidbit of information that if you need legal assistance and legal representation, the Legal Aid Center of Southern Nevada is there to help you. Barbara, this has been so enlightening. I thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to ask you to come back and we'll talk a little bit more about especially the special education program with the school district. I'm really interested in that.
Would love to.
Thank you. Again, Legal Aid Center of Southern Nevada, lacsn.org. Phone numbers 386-1070. That's 702-386-1070. Thank you so much, Barbara. We're going to take a little break and we'll be right back. We have a local artist and we're going to talk to him and show some of his work and see what he's doing right here in our community. The Legal Aid Center of Southern Nevada can help you with legal matters. They have a self-help center, so please visit them. If you need representation, it is provided free, at the Legal Aid Center of Southern Nevada. Your resource at HB, that is your resource at Hollywood Bound. We are growing by leaps and bounds, and we have office space, meeting space, production, technology, all of the things that you need for your office. If you need to rent an office for a day, a week, or a month, give me a call or email me. info@yourresourcehb.com. We will help you with a full-service office. John Trimble is a very unique artist. You don't want to miss his presentation of his art at the West Las Vegas Art Center through March 29th. And welcome back. We're talking to a local artist who has a showing called Music of Life at the West Las Vegas Library, or West Las Vegas Art Center, which is next to the West Las Vegas Library. It's going to be there through March 29th. So I saw some of his work, and I said, I've got to talk to this young man because I need to know where his ideas come from. Welcome, John Trimble.
Hello, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you being here, John. What's your inspiration?
My inspiration for this particular gallery is music in itself, particularly jazz. Mm-hmm. Jazz has been a very important part of my life. I don't play any instruments, minus the piano a little bit, but jazz has always influenced me. It's always been my background music. Okay. I believe everyone has a background music, right, whether you're going to work or so, you have a song in your head. Mm-hmm. So jazz has always been that music, and I just wanted to put that on canvas so people could enjoy it. Yeah, the picture I saw is like, it is fabulous. The trombone player and the lady kind of weaving in and out. I'm going to talk about that because your art is very unique. Thank you. And you say it's about memories. Mm-hmm. So what do you mean by that? When I can speak for myself when I say this, but when I think about certain memories, I usually, when I have that song playing in my head, when I'm going through the moment of what I'm going through, I have that song in my head. Those particular memories bring up songs, those songs. I can remember each song for each memory I have. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about, memories. And I think that when it comes to certain songs, whether it be good or bad, it brings up a memory. True. And that is just what I'm trying to express on canvas. Now, you've been in Las Vegas for a few years, originally from Los Angeles. Now, did your influence from art come from there, or what was your influence to even start putting these beautiful pictures on canvas? My environment around me. Being in Los Angeles, you're involved in many cultures and many things going on in Los Angeles. Very quick, fast-paced city. Mm-hmm. So those are just some of the things that kind of influenced me. Earlier on, my work was very political, and I did some what people might consider controversial, but it was just a reflection of what I saw in the inner city. Okay. As I got out more and experienced more life and what it has to offer, and I fell in love with jazz, and I started doing more jazz pieces. Jazz. Okay. Yes. And my brother put me on the jazz, so thank you, Michael. But jazz was something that I could escape with, and that was an influence to do that. It's just such a peaceful and calming music that it influenced me to just paint and draw, and it's so beautiful to get that on canvas. You're a very unique artist. There's a lot of ambiguity in your art. Why? I like for the viewer to have their own thoughts about my work. Okay. I want to lead you only so far. Then I want the viewer to take over and put their own memories into my work. Mm-hmm. What does that remind you of? Okay. What does that make you think? Okay. What can we expect from this showing that you're having? I want the viewer to come out there, see some beautiful artwork, colors, strokes, a lot of mystery, a lot of my personal feelings in it. You can tell when I am, just by the paintings, my mood. You can tell when I'm more whimsical. You can see it in the strokes. I want people to see me. That's what I want people to see. Okay. And I want people to enjoy good artwork and take it all in. What's your medium? I work in acrylic paints. I do prints. I do charcoal.
Oh, okay.
I do colored pencil and
Oh,
pastel.
you're pretty much across the board.
I try to
Okay.
be. Art takes on so many different mediums that
It does.
you just have to embrace it all. Just like music. If you listen to one type of music, you really don't take in the other forms.
Okay.
Although I do like jazz, it's my favorite. I listen to everything, So you take it all in.
Now, if someone wanted to commission you to do a piece for them, do you do that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do. I've done plenty of sports pieces. People like their sports, so they like to have their team represented in their own way. They tell me what they want, and I do it. Family portraits, landscapes, I do it all.
Okay, family portraits. Now, is that for real family portraits or your unique version of that family?
I can go as realistic as need be, or as symbolic, or
Right.
as they want.
Okay.
I can
All
do-
your waviness and all of that.
Yes,
Right.
I can do it all. I've had some unique requests.
Yep. We're talking to John Trimble, who's an artist. You can reach him at area code 702-655-5756. That's 702-655-5756. He has a showing, quite a unique collection at the West Las Vegas Arts Center, and that's through March 29th. Now, you can Google him and see some of his work. Go to Facebook, because he has a Facebook page, and you'll see all of the different types of art. And like he said, you can see his mood, because some of it's like wispy, and then others are like you kind of look and say, okay, what was he thinking? But John, you're a tremendous artist. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
we
having me.
appreciate it.
Thank
John Trimble, 702-655-5756. Go by the West Las Vegas Arts Center before or on March the 29th
Yes,
and see a collection of his works. We thank you so much for joining us right here on the Lillian McMorris Show. And hopefully we've given you some information that you can utilize, a program that can help you or can help somebody. Entertainment, artists. Anyway, that's what you'll find right here. You can go to our website at LillianMcMorrisShow.com or Facebook or YouTube or COX 96. And we're very grateful to bring all of this information to you right here in our community. I'm Lillian McMorris, and we'll see you next time.